Coming to you from the trenches of blue-collar America, the place where the wheels of America are kept turning and turning. It's the Blue Collar Success Network, hosted by blue-collar business coach, author, and speaker, Jerry Eisenhower, with CVC Coaching. Take it away, Jerry.
Hey, and thanks for joining me again today. This is Jerry Eisenhower with CVC Coaching. And this is our weekly podcast that goes out to blue-collar home maintenance contractors around the U.S. and the world. And actually, anybody else that wants to listen in may give you some helpful hints on how to get to your dreams. So today's subject is going to be about following, and about follow up. About follow up. Now, what in the world am I talking to about follow up? You see, we beam this show out to many home service maintenance contractors. And when you're doing home maintenance service contracting, often you get called to a house. And what this job actually entails, this is just an audition. It's just an audition. Because what you're being auditioned for is that big job that the customer really needs done. You see, they called you to the house because something was wrong. They needed you to do something. But most consumers don't have their eye on the ball of what's really wrong with many things around their house. They just don't notice them. They see them every day. They get used to them. So when you come in, all of a sudden, they've got a fresh set of eyes on this whole problem. And you're seeing the problems that they just don't recognize they're there. And part of what you're providing is a resolution to problems. And just think for a minute, how often do you go to someone's house and you see something that they could use your services, your products, and they could save a lot of money in maintenance costs? Maybe they could lower their heating bill. Maybe they could create less emissions and pollution. Maybe they could even help their indoor air quality. You know, and I was reading over the weekend, and I got into an article, and there are studies right now about the air quality in our country, both indoor and outdoor, and how this is now being traced to an early oncoming dementia and Alzheimer's from bad air quality. There's actually, when you look at and you actually do the research, you'll find there are certain particulates in the atmosphere that whenever they absorb by the human body, not only can they cause physical ailments, it's now being traced down, they can cause mental health issues. Now, this has been related more and more to women than it has been to men. Nothing against women, it's just part of the research, so please don't take that personal. But when you look at it, these are the things that you can provide your customer. You provide it to your customer because you need to suggest to the customer what they need done. You see, you're not being a salesman when you do that. What you're doing is you're actually providing the service that the customer wanted you to come in and do. What they've got you there for is to provide the services, the products, to make their life easier. And in today's world of American homeowners, 60% of American homeowners want you to do these things for them. I know that may be hard to fathom. They're not looking for the lowest cost. What they're looking for is the highest value. Now, naturally, they're going to say the lowest cost. I mean, who's going to say, hey, I don't care what you charge me? Nobody's going to say that. But deep down inside, what they're looking for is the quality of the job and the value that you bring to them. So commonly, maybe you are a home service maintenance contractor. You could be a plumber. You could be a chimney sweep. You could be a carpet cleaner. You could be any number of things. It's like a real interesting conversation I had with a similar coach that deals a lot with carpet cleaning businesses. And it blew my mind. Stephen, how many services do you think a carpet cleaning company provides to a homeowner? Stephen is curling his mouth up. Stephen is my producer, if you've listened to my show before. He's a young millennial. He has a bad sense of directions. And you ask him a question, now it's opportunity, and he don't know what to say.
10?
10. If I told you that the average Progressive carpet cleaning company supplies 32 services to American homeowners, would that shock you?
No.
It would not, because when you look at it, we have hardwood floor cleaning, we have grout cleaning, we have upholstery cleaning, deck cleaning. There's all kinds of things that a carpet cleaning company can provide to an American household. But the problem is most homeowners don't know the services exist. But if the service tech mentions this and does the service well, where the consumer can trust them, where they build a relationship, guess what? They're going to be apt to buy from you. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I mean, Coach, it develops trust. So here's the whole thing. Part of what you've got to do in this world is, in your job role as a home maintenance person providing the services to American homeowners, you've got to go that extra step, and you've got to tell them the other services that you provide. This is not saying you're trying to upsell them. You are simply making them aware. And if you've made the customer very happy and they're an enthused customer and they trust you and you've built a relationship, you know what? They're probably going to buy from you. But here's the next thing you got to understand. They may not buy it right now. They're only going to buy it if they're followed up with. And once they're followed up with, guess what? They'll buy it. The average consumer has to be asked 7 times to buy. Do you realize that? 7 times. We have to ask 7 times. Now, this can be done in various ways. You've also got to touch your customer at least 7 times a year for them to remember you. Now, this touch can be various ways. It could be your social media. It could be a direct mail piece. It could be any way that doesn't intrude on their lives, because phone calls often are intruding on our lives. So it's got to be in a way that the customer will buy in and know you're interested. But what you got to do is follow up. You know, it's an amazing fact. Many consumers have not placed the order because no one asked them again to buy it. No one asked them again. See, your customers got a lot on their mind today, every day. They're thinking about their kids. They're thinking about world events. They're thinking about all the things that are happening around them. You're not the most important thing that they're dealing with in every day of their life. But again, the services that you provide are going to be a monumental importance to them for their home maintenance program, to keep their home in a condition that is going to preserve the resale value of that home. Those are the services that you provide. It's like it's like when you look at it. If you're a plumber in here, a lot of times people think plumbers, what they do is they are experts at getting water to your house. They're experts at getting waste away from your house. That's really not what a plumber is. What do you think a plumber is dealing with, Stephen? Boy, you're just getting all cursed up. I'm give you an opportunity. You're just not ready. So what do you think?
I think that plumbers more deal with, they deal with piping.
They deal with piping, but let's lay it down into a nutshell. They're dealing with sanitation and sanitary conditions. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
That's why we have plumbers, because if the water doesn't come in a conditioned form, in a drinkable form, it's unsanitary. If the waste from our home is not carried away properly, if it remains in our home, it's an unsanitary condition. So one of the roles of a plumber that goes back many, many years is the experience, their excellence, their expertise in the area of sanitation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like in my home, I recently purchased a awning. And this awning has a real long story that goes with it. It's an ongoing saga. You know, we'll actually make this awning buying experience of podcast if it ever gets over. But anyway, it was like they were at the house this morning working on it. Finally got the electricity wired this thing. We're in the week 3 of this installation of an awning right now. Ain't this doing great, Stephen? I mean, we got 2 more weeks to go the way it sounds, just to install this awning, okay? But as we go into this, and the electrician was there today, and I said, well, let me ask you a question. When I bought this awning, what did I buy, Stephen?
Bought an awning.
Really? That's not what I bought.
Is that not what you
That
bought?
is not what I bought. I bought shade.
That's all. Yeah.
I bought shade. If you're buying drill bits, what you're buying holes.
Yeah.
You're buying the results. And see, that's what your customers, that's what I'm getting at here. In order to give the customer the results of what you need, you're going to have to learn how to follow up with your customer. You got to ask them to buy. I'm going to do a later podcast that's going to talk about some of the electronic mediums that are going out and how these different companies are trying to get a piece of your ball game as home maintenance service contractors. And I'm going to give you some ideas during that show of how not to let Amazon rule your world and Google Home not rule your world. I mean, our friend Ray Terry, he does dryer vent cleaning also, right? Guess what I can buy off Amazon right now in Charlotte? I can buy dryer vent cleaning backed up with Amazon's home service warranty and backed up with Amazon's reminder emails. Am I still interested? Am I ready to buy? See, that's what we're up against today as home maintenance service contractors. You got to be aware, how are people trying to take your section of the pie? This is the American Free Enterprise System, folks. And what you got to do today is understand how you're going to compete into the future and do the phenomenal things that you can do. And you're going to do this by building the trust, building the relationship, building enthused customers. And most of all, you got to follow up. You got to let your customers know you love them. And if you don't stay in touch with your customers, how in the world are they ever going to know that you love them? And with that, this is Jerry Eisenhower with CVC Coaching. I'm getting ready to sign off here, but I want to encourage you. I recently released a book. It's called Standardizing Standard Operating Procedures. Amazon any day now. By the time you get this, it should be up on Amazon. I'm going to encourage you to get a copy of this. It's part of what you got to do to run a successful business day and time. It takes 3 basic components. It takes leadership. It takes your company culture. And last but not least, and one of the most important factors is your systems for operation. And that's what I talk about in this new book, Standardizing Standard Operating Procedures. Hey, you'll be able to order it through my website. You go straight to Amazon, pick it up. It's going to be available in a printed version, or you can get in the Kindle version. So look me up on Amazon. It joins my other books that are out there, The Daily Difference in Life Lessons, Chaos to Reinvention. Stephen, I got 2 more coming out this year. How about that? That'll have me 5 books rolled out in 1 year.
That's good.
And you couldn't even hang my podcast 1 week.
No.
Because you had a busy week, right?
Yes.
You had a busy week. I asked Steve if he forgot my podcast all week. We'll get by this. Not a big thing. But, Stephen, how'd you forget? And his answer was, well, Jerry, I had a really stressful week. Okay? This is the world we live in today. So, Stephen, I really feel bad about your stressful week.
Well, thank you.
But the question is, will you forget my podcast again?
No.
You don't want to go through this again, do you? So that's how you do it. So, Stephen, we're all on the same wavelength. You understand?
Yes.
It was probably my fault. I should have, I'm wondering, what did I not do to let you know that we wanted our podcast rolled out every week? It had to be something I did. It has to be my fault. It couldn't be yours, Stephen.
No.
Do you feel bad right now, Stephen?
Yes, I feel
You're real.
really
Do you see
bad.
how that worked?
Yes.
There you go. Well, listen, this is Jerry, CVC Coaching, signing off again. Join us next time. We try to come out with the messages that are going to help you go to higher profits, make a living, and this is most important of all. Whatever you do, be happy and live and go to those dreams. Talk to you next time. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for joining us here at the Blue Collar Success Network, sponsored by CVC Coaching and hosted each week by coach, speaker, and author Jerry Eisenhower. For more information on the services provided by Jerry and CVC Coaching, look them up at cvccoaching.com. Our mission here at Blue Collar Success Network is to help blue-collar pros like you turn your business dreams into your business realities. Let's talk.